Hey guys, what's up? It's me, Cross Studios, and I'm here with a new review. And I'm here with a LEGO minifigures review. And this is my first review of an actual series of figures. And it's Series 10. Now, the only figure I don't have in this series right now is Mr. Gold. Obviously, he's super hard to find. I am going to try to find him still, even though I'm doing the review right now. But if I do find him, I'll do a review for the Cross Studios channel. So, yeah, let's take a look at our packaging. This is set 71001. It is ages 5 plus. Costs $2.99 in the USA and a little bit more in other countries, I think. And contains different amounts of parts, actually. So there's the back. You can see I slid it open from the back so you can see it easier. So yeah, let's take a look at our instructions. Instructions, you just get another one of these fold-out manuals like you normally do in all the series. Except this one's a little special because on the back you get a little Mr. Gold thing. So far around 200 something of Mr. Gold have been found. So there's probably around 4,000 something left. So there's a really good chance that people can find it. So yeah, let's take a look at our first minifigure now, which is the Librarian. Okay guys, now onto our first minifigure. This is the Librarian, and this isn't a very good figure. You can see her torso like printing. She has that head and this hair. Turn around, you can see her cupsish, and you can see the side of her legs. She has a little bit of side leg printing. No back printing. She does come with this book that says Oranges and Peaches, which, of course, you can open the book. Yeah, she's not a great figure. She's just okay. Not the best figure in my opinion. She's probably one of my least favorite in this series. She's just sort of boring, and you can't really do anything with her. Maybe you can put her in a city scenario. That's what lots of these figures are based on, like city scenarios, like the grandpa and the painter. So yeah, that's basically it for the Librarian. Let's move on to our next minifigure. Alright guys, so here's our second minifigure, and this is Medusa. And I absolutely love this figure. You get so many big parts with her. You can see this sort of snake-like tail that you can put on a Venomari type of snake guy from Ninjago, maybe. You can see her torso, and she does not have any back printing. These are completely different shades of green, so it's a little weird, but you can see her headpiece. Thing I think is a little weird about it is that it's like a rubbery substance, so you can like move it around. And you can see she does have a double-sided head. That's really creepy. Obviously, when you stare at her, you turn to stone. So not really much about her. She's a really cool figure. You can't really use her for much because whenever someone looks at her, they'll just turn to stone. But whatever. So let's go into our next minifigure. The third minifigure is the Roman commander, I think that's what he's called. And I really like this guy. His head is probably one of my favorite parts in this. And also the hat is really cool. Lots of the time when I was feeling for Medusa, I just felt for really huge packs, and I was mistaken for this guy. You can see this piece up here. You can take this off. When you do get it, it comes with a separate piece. You can see his torso and leg printing, and his head's really cool. You can see he got a dark red cape. I really like that. He does not have any back printing, I already checked, but he does have some feet printing, which is very cool, and side leg printing. So you can see those are supposed to be shoes, I'm guessing, but I absolutely love this figure. So let's go on to the next figure. On to our next figure. This is the Warrior Woman, and she's just an okay figure. You can see her torso and leg printing is very nice. I love the shield. That's definitely my favorite part in this. Her shield is sweet looking. Sort of has like a shield. Well, if you've seen the Avengers, this is almost the same as the shield logo with the eagle on it, and you can see she has the spear. I like the hairpiece too. That's a very cool hairpiece, and you can see she has side leg printing. Not too bad a figure, but they've made figures like this before. Not very unique, but still a cool figure. So let's go on to our next figure. Guys, now on to another figure. This is the Tomahawk Warrior. And I absolutely love this figure, except for one thing, the Mohawk. Pretty sure Indians didn't have Mohawks like this. I like the Tomahawk, I guess. It's just okay because I hate the rubber part of it that they gave Tonto too. But you can see everything I like about it is the head, the legs, the torso are all great. Especially the side arm printing right there. You can see that one. And on the other side, it's also different. They have 2 different prints on each arm, which is great. Love this feature about the Tomahawk Warrior. I wish they would have gave him a different headpiece, maybe. Like maybe a new mold or something that would have made him more cool. Instead of just giving him this rubbery tomahawk, or mohawk piece. So, a great figure. I love it, except for the mohawk. But other than that, it's a cool figure. So let's go on to our next minifigure, which is... Alright guys, now onto the Skydiver, and as you can see, this was in the background accidentally. But you can see he has a green helmet, which is an okay piece. You can see his face looks really crazy, like he's blowing in the wind as he's going down from the plane. You can see his torso is really cool. You could use his torso and legs as like an alien defense unit type of thing, if you've seen the ADU, or maybe an Galaxy Squad type of thing. You can see his backpack is what I like about this figure most. The backpack is really cool looking. You can see it's going to have like the parachute on there and stuff. Looks like a pretty cool figure. I like this figure, so let's go on to our next minifigure. Guys, now on to our next figure, which is the Bumblebee girl, and she's not a great figure. I was actually thinking about getting this one because I thought it looked really cool, but it's not great in my opinion. You can see she gets this little bucket of honey, and you can see there's a little bee on there. And what I like about this figure the most is probably the wings. They're clear color. I really like that. But other than that, you can see the headpiece is rubber, which I don't like. I guess they could have made just these rubber, but they made the whole headpiece rubber, which is not very cool. I don't like that. But still, not a bad figure, I guess. They could have made her a little better. She does not have much printing on her, but she's still an okay figure. So let's go on to the grandpa. And I absolutely love this figure. He's awesome. I'm glad they gave this new headpiece on top, which is like a molded head where he has the hair on there. You take it off, you can see what he looks like without it. Sort of looks like a really old Commissioner Gordon. If you really think about it, you can see his torso printing is pretty nice, and he does have back printing. That's very cool, and you can see his cup, just a plain white cup. But he does get this really cool exclusive Old Times newspaper. Really cool looking. I like the look of that because it has the old-fashioned car on it. Absolutely love this figure. Very unique, and I'm pretty sure in the next series that they're coming out with, that's going to be in the dark green packs, they're coming out with a grandma. So you can get one of those to be with your grandpa. So that's pretty cool. Let's go on to the paintballer. Now on to the paintballer, and he's a pretty cool figure. The paintball gun is okay. It's not super... it doesn't look exactly like the actual paintball gun. It's still pretty cool though. And you can see his torso and leg printing has these green paint all over. I wish it would have been different colors. They only give you one different color, which is on the back, which is orange. I wish they would have given you like red and blue and all kinds of colors on it. But it's cool, I guess. You get some green on the helmet, and the helmet's really cool. You could use this definitely for like a Halo guy. And you can see the head right there. It's a little crazy. I really don't like that head that much. But you could use the helmet for like a Halo guy, but if you know about the custom Halo minifigures, the helmet does not fit on them. I've already tried it, but you could modify it a little bit so it did. Not a bad figure, just an okay figure. So let's go on to the Sailor, which is an absolutely great figure. Now on to one of my favorite figures in this series, which is the Sailor. Compared to the last Sailor, this Sailor just beats it by a mile. The last Sailor is like, I'm guessing a younger version of this guy, because this guy is just sweet looking. You can see he gets the black binoculars, which is pretty cool. You get side arm printing, which is very cool. You get basic white legs, but the torso is really cool. I absolutely love the head, and the hat is really cool too, sort of like the police officer's hat. And you get this seagull, which is rubbery, so you can move its wings around. Give you a little bit more detail of that. And the bottom of it is hard, so you can stick it on a stud. You can see the Sailor right here. And he does not have any back printing, but he's still really cool. So you can see that he can sit on here. That's really cool. I love this seagull. I absolutely love this figure. It's just a great figure. So let's go on to the Sad Clown. You guys know on to the next figure, which is the Sad Clown. I like this figure, actually. I didn't think I was going to like him at first, but he's still a pretty cool figure, you know. You get this nice hat. He's easy to feel for if you can feel the hat, or this little circle piece right here. You can see he has a little crying face. You can see the 3 little fuzzy dots there. no back printing. He has barely any printing, but he does have this delicious bacon pattern. No, I'm just kidding. But he's really cool. You can't really use him for much. Maybe a meme, like in a city that's trapped in like an invisible box, like some people do. But he's pretty cool. Not bad. I actually like this figure. So let's go on to one of my favorites. On to the American Soldier. I like this figure. It's a great figure. You can see he has his gun right there. He has great torso printing. And he does that back printing. I'll show you that in a second. I think the head is just okay. Not a bad head. But if you get a bunch of this guy, you're going to have to replace the head with a few different ones. And a lot of the other heads don't look good with this hair for some reason. I've tried it a few times, and you can see when you take off this hair, you can see the little ribbon right there, or bow, whatever you want to call it. Then you can see his back printing. He does have those two lines in the back. Not a bad figure. He is a pretty cool figure. So let's go on to our next figure. He's on to the baseball pitcher, and he's an okay figure. You know, I think they just threw this guy in here because they didn't have any other series to throw him in, and they need more figures in the series. So I feel like this guy was just slapped in here. You can see his hat is the Stackers. Not a bad figure. He's pretty easy to feel for if you can feel this hat or you can feel this. But you can mix him up pretty easily with the painter. You just gotta know that the front of his hat is a little shorter. Or this guy's hat is longer than the painter's hat. But when you turn him around, no back printing, just plain gray. But okay, not really a good figure. I wouldn't really recommend getting this figure unless you're trying to get the whole series like I did. So let's go on to our next figure. So here's our trendsetter figure, and you can see she has the little chihuahua. It's okay, little chihuahua. I really hate this kind of dog, but you can see she does have a little phone. Pretty cool looking phone. You can see she has this huge hair. She's super easy to feel for if you can feel for this hair. And also, you might mix her up with the Librarian, but if you want to really feel for this one, make sure there's no book, because the books can mix you up. But you can see when you take off her hair, you can see her face right there and her torso like printing. No back printing. It's a pink torso. Pretty cool and unique. I just don't like this figure that much, though. Not really much to it. I mean, just not a great figure. Not very good. So let's go on to our next figure. On to our next figure, which is the Painter. And I love this figure. It's a cool figure. The one thing that I don't like about it is that the bucket and this piece fall apart super easily. But it's still a cool looking bucket. It's different than all the other ones. You could stick it on studs, obviously. You can see the Painter here. He has some torso and leg printing. I love his hat. It's a cool hat. It's different than all the other ones. And he does have back printing. You can see his little roll painter thing. And you can see it's a light bluish color, which is a pretty rare color. Unless you get the Galaxy Squad sets, you're not going to get many of this color. You can see his head has some paint on it. He has paint all over him. You can put this in your city and have him like painting buildings, I guess. You could do that. Put it like a gray type of paint. But if you really wanted to make it look like a building, so light blue. But still a cool figure. I love this figure. So let's go on to our next figure. So this is our last figure. And this is the motorcycle mechanic, and it is a great figure. I love this figure. You can see he has the wrench, not a very good accessory, but other than that, you can see all this awesome printing on him. You can see his leg printing is a little different than an old police set. It's not a police set. It's from the Space Police theme. It came with one of the aliens, and you can see his torso printing is very nice too. And I love the tattoo that's on his arm. That's really cool looking. His head looks really cool, and his love his little dough rag hat. You can see his back printing has the skulls on it with the wrenches. He's just a cool figure. You can use him for not much, but he's still an awesome figure. I love his figure. So let's go on to a rating on these figures. Now under a rating on these minifigures, I like this series of figures. It's not the best, but it's still a cool series. You get some nice unique figures like all the other series, and you get some nice figures to go along with some of the older series of figures too. Like, say the Spartan Captain. You can give him with your Spartan from, I think, Series 1 or 2. I can't remember which one. But I do like it, so it's going to get an 8.8 out of 10. it's not the best series, but I think it's a pretty cool one. And also, counting Mr. Gold, you actually have a pretty good chance of getting him because only 200 or 300 of them have been found, and there's probably 4,000 something of them left. So there's probably going to be around at least 20 to 30 in each state, I'm guessing. So it's a really good chance you can find one, even if you live somewhere not very known. Because I know in my state 5 people found the golden minifigure already. 5. And some people haven't been marking it, so there might be 6 or 7. So there's probably a lot in my state. So I'm gonna try to find this golden minifigure and review it for you guys. So that's probably gonna be my next goal because there's not a ton of sets coming out. So that's gonna be my main goal for now. So I'm gonna try to find that for you guys and review it. And also, I will be putting out the Man of Steel sets reviews soon. I've been sort of lazy lately with reviewing stuff and setting up the table and stuff too. So that's basically it for this, guys. Look for more reviews and such, rate, comment, and subscribe.